Hey, I'm Cassie and this is Rideau Knits, and today I am going to talk to you about all of the gifts I plan on knitting in 2024. Welcome back to my channel, and today, like I said, I am going to be talking about all the gifts I plan on knitting in 2024. I know gift knitting is not a thing for everyone. Not everyone enjoys doing it, not everyone, people feel pressured to do it, but I personally absolutely love gift knitting. I am more of a process knitter than a product knitter, though I am kind of trying to change that a bit. And my family, or the people that I gift knit for, are extremely knit worthy. Mostly I gift knit for my parents and my sister, and they all absolutely love everything that I knit for them. They wear all their knits all the time. Every time I see them, at least one of them is wearing something that I've knit, and that just makes me so happy that I just want to keep knitting things because they wear them so much. So this year I have decided to kind of compile a list and organize myself a little bit in terms of the things that I plan on knitting for members of my family. Family, if you're watching this, stop. You're not allowed to watch. Turn it off. Thanks. Okay, make 9. I decided to do a make 9. This is not the only gifts I'm gonna knit this year, but does kind of encompass the big ones, the big kind of more general plans that I have, and specific gifts that I know that I want to knit. I reserve the right to change this at any time. This is not going to be something that's a hard, fast list, but as of right now, these are the things I want to knit for members of my family. Number 1, and the yarn that goes with them. I have the yarn for some of the things. The first thing is something that I actually need. I don't need to do any of this, but I want to cast on very soon. I am planning on knitting the Hayley Slipover. I'll put pictures here of all of the patterns. Planning on knitting the Hayley Slipover, which is a pattern by, I don't remember, by Iris, where is it? There we go. Iris H. Or Hirismakes. Hirismakes on Instagram. And it is a cabled vest slipover pattern, and I have the yarn for it. I caked it all up because I want to start knitting it very soon. This was a request from my mom. This is the yarn. I don't know if you can see that very well. There we go. And this is Alley Cat yarns that I got at a local fiber festival. Alley Cat yarns in their Silk Yak DK base. It is 60% superwash merino, 20% silk, and 20% yak. There are 231 yards per 100 grams, and there's no colorway name on any of the tags, but it is this deep navy color, and that was exactly what my mom requested. She even picked the pattern out, or kind of chose a bunch of patterns that were kind of the idea that she wanted, and we settled, or I settled on the Hayley Slipover. It's funny because my sister's name is actually Hayley, spelled the same way, which is not very common, or I haven't found it to be very common, but for some reason now in the knitting community I'm finding many more Hayleys spelt the same way. So yeah. So that is make 9 item number 1. The second item on my gift knitting make 9 is something that I've actually already cast on. It is not here. I think I left it at the cottage. And that is the Stella top by, again, I should have looked this up before, but it is a pattern that I got for free. She had a code to download it for free by Svetlana Volkova, and I did get it for free when it was up. I can't remember when. And it is a square neck tank, and I am knitting it in Hobbii rainbow cotton. It's an 8/4 fingering weight cotton in the lavender color. I'll post a picture of the progress that I have on it as of right now. It is very slow going, so I keep it usually on the couch downstairs so I can knit on it when I'm watching TV with my husband. But yeah, it's going very slow. I think it's cute. My sister kind of picked the pattern or approved the pattern and chose the yarn color. So she kind of knows it's coming but doesn't know when it's coming. And yeah, I'm excited to finish it. I'm excited for her to wear it. And hopefully I can finish it before her birthday, which is in October. I also just like randomly gifting. I don't always gift knits to my family because of an occasion. I'll do it just randomly when I finish an item. And anything that doesn't fit me properly, sometimes if I don't gauge swatch, don't be like me and you should knit a gauge swatch. If it doesn't fit right, then I pass it off to my sister or my mom. Okay, number 3 is a general category of knits. And I plan on knitting socks for the members of my family. My dad has probably a half dozen pairs of hand knit socks from me, and every time I see him he is wearing hand knit socks, to the point where he came to me very upset several times and said, I have worn a hole through my socks, I need you to fix it, or I need new socks, please. And I don't feel confident mending socks, but my mom does. So she got a darning mushroom for Christmas, and she got all the scrap of the yarn that his socks were knit in, and she has been a busy little bee mending all of the socks that are worn through, which is fantastic. So I am going to knit socks for everyone. My mom, my dad, my sister, even my sister's boyfriend. I knit him a pair of socks for Christmas and he was just over the moon. He was so excited to get hand knit socks for Christmas. My husband is even opening up to hand knit socks. He has worn his Christmas socks more than once now, and that makes me very happy because he's always been very like, only knit me things that can go in the dryer. So I'm excited to be able to knit him some more things as well. Then number 4 on my list is a Musselburgh for my dad. I have some yarns in my yarn closet, my yarn cupboard, that I'd like to work through, and I think a Musselburgh would be a great way to knit a hat for him. He does not like sweaters, or he doesn't want sweaters because he doesn't want to ruin them. He also, like me, runs very hot, so he doesn't think he'll get much wear out of a sweater. Even though I'd really love to knit him a sweater, he is not totally on board with the whole knit sweater situation. So I am planning on knitting him a Musselburgh hat, and that will probably be cast on fairly soon once I decide what yarn I would like to use. Number 5 is actually a gift for my daughter. I think I'm gonna knit one for my daughter and knit one for my son so they can be all matchy-matchy. This one and I don't know, we'll see. I will probably need to purchase yarn for this, and I plan on knitting a Cargill Junior sweater, at least one, possibly 2 for my children. My daughter is almost 3 and my son is 7 months old right now, and they just love each other so much, and I would love to see them in matchy-matchy sweaters. The Cargill Junior is a pattern by Rebecca Clow of the Craybea, and there is an adult size version, and I knit the cowl for my mom for Christmas, and so I know I like the stitch pattern, and I think it would just be super cute, and I'm excited to cast that one on eventually. I don't know what yarn I'm planning on using for that, but we'll see. I do own the pattern already, so I'm trying to use things that I already have. The next pattern, number 6, is both a gift and going to be an entry in the Perth Fair. This year I entered some of my knits in the local fair, and I won first place in 2 categories. I think I entered 6 items, and I got first place in 2 or 3 of them, and then second and third, or second in the rest. So I'm excited to knit things again to enter in the fair, and yeah, we'll see what I end up accomplishing. The theme for this year, so last year I didn't know what the theme was before I decided to enter knits. I just decided that I was going to enter knits and pick things that I already had or had recently finished and then entered those. This year I am planning my knits kind of around the fair theme so that I can do better. So the first one I'm going to enter, I don't know what the categories are yet, but I'm assuming that an adult sweater is going to be one of the categories because it was last year, and I feel like that's a pretty standard category to have for fair entries. So I'm going to knit the Wool and Honey by Andrea Mowry. I don't know what yarn I'm going to use yet, but it is going to be the Wool and Honey because the theme this year is bees. And I am going to knit it in my mom's size. So once I'm done entering it in the fair, which is in August or September, I think it's Labor Day weekend, that will then become my mom's sweater. So that is that. I am also planning on knitting the Honeycomb Aran, which is a free Yarnspirations pattern that I've knit before. And I'm going to knit it out of Briggs & Little Regal in this dark brown color that I have. And I think I'm going to knit it for my sister. I really want to knit it for my dad because I think it would be a fantastic sweater for him to have for working outside and like as an over piece of outerwear, I guess. And I'm going to try and convince him to accept a wool sweater that I don't care if he destroys it from using it and wearing it. But if not, then I'll knit it for my sister. I know she would like it. And I have the yarn already. I don't have it with me. It's downstairs somewhere. So I'll put a picture of what it looks like over here. Okay. Number 8. 8? Yes. Is a stick season hat, which I'm going to knit, I think, for my sister's boyfriend. I am going to, on my personal Make 9 that I recorded, that I posted before, I have the stick season sweater for myself. I would like to knit the stick season hat. I think it's going to be for my sister's boyfriend. And I don't know what yarn I'm using. I just want to knit it. And then the very last thing that I am going to knit, and I'm counting it as a gift knit because it is for my husband, my children, and myself, but it is also selfish. It is also something I've been intending to knit for several years. Like since my husband and I got married, or before we got married, like 5 years ago. I am planning to knit Christmas stockings. And I was inspired by Inga of knitting traditions. She started knitting stockings for her family. And I am planning on using the same patterns. And that is, you get them as they come in twos. It is the New Huffman Holidays patterns by Laura Tabbut. And you get 2 of them in each bundle. So there's 2 bundles, and the first one is the Black Mountain stocking, which looks like this. The second one is the Scritori stocking, which looks like this in the first bundle. And then there is the Pembroke stocking and the Winter Garden stocking. And I am not sure yet if I'm going to knit all 4 stockings or if I'm going to do 2 of one pattern and 2 of another pattern. I really like the Pembroke pattern and the Black Mountain pattern. So I'm going to do 1 for my husband, 1 for my son, 1 for my daughter, and 1 for myself. We don't have any Christmas stockings. We thought we bought some last year and apparently we didn't. And now that our family is complete, I'd like to have matching stockings for us. And I will have to find yarn for that. And then I plan on sewing a fabric insert in it so that it doesn't get all like crazy stretched out. My dad has a stocking that he's had forever. That is the really old school with the Santa face on it. It looks like this. They're like a vintage style stocking, and every time we stuff his stocking with stuff, it like stretches out gigantic and is humongous. I might just knit those, like the really old school vintage ones, but I don't know yet. But the plan is to knit 4 Christmas stockings, be it the Lord Tabbut ones or the old school vintage ones if I can find the pattern for those. So that is all of my gift knits that I plan on making this year so far. I'm sure there will be more. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about those. Let me know if you gift knit. Who do you knit for? What kind of things do you knit for them? If you don't, then good on ya, because it's a lot of work. But I love knitting for my family, so it's not. I'm happy to do the work. If you know of any patterns that you're planning on making for people in your life, let me know what they are in the comments below. If you like this content, I also do a regular podcast style episode, or regular podcast style videos. Wow, words are hard. And like and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. And yeah. Happy knitting and have a great day. Bye.